Hey, 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 welcome back to the Fuel Yourself audio cast. I am your host, Shawana Mays, certified life and wellness coach who guides women who are 40 plus from being stuck to becoming unstoppable when it comes to their goals. Because listen, I'm going to help you trash that chronic quitting habit and teach you how to finally follow through, no matter what, while enjoying your life in the process. Because it really can be done that way. Speaking from experience. Okay. So, in today's episode, I'm going to share with you something special. And I want, to really explain the concept of how your thoughts are your strategy to the goals that you want. So, if you want to learn how to build this skill of follow through, you're going to want to stick around until the end of this episode. Because for most of us, we set goals with the intent to follow through to that end result that we see for ourselves, right? We always see that end result so clearly, and we can see like the impact that it would have on our lives. We can visualize it, we smile about it, and we just get so happy. So just imagine intentionally being able to carry that energy all the way through to your goal and creating every goal that you say yes to. Yes, it's so possible. Okay. Now, I've mentioned to you before on some of the past episodes of this audio cast that I was in the health and fitness network marketing space for a little over 8 years before I decided to let that part of my life go. And I let that go back in January 2023 because what I realized is that I was no longer interested in just offering up the tools and resources to help women achieve their health and fitness goals. I wanted to really help women actually achieve their results that they could see for themselves, like actually help them get to that finish line. I just couldn't keep seeing women like invest that $160 in themselves and only walk through the process of the journey for like 2 and 3 months and then ultimately quit on themselves. That was really starting to weigh heavily on me. So I just quit. And without a second thought, there was no ruminating on it. I just quit. Now, let me say this though. Beachbody, who is now Body, their health and fitness tools and resources helped me remove all of the guesswork out of establishing a health and fitness routine. That was the best gift to my life because that was what I wanted for many, many years. I still rock with Body to this day and I still rave about its simplicity, but even with that, the majority of the women that I work with were just not willing to walk through the process of what it took to get to the outcomes that they wanted. And I really wanted to find that part out. I wanted to find out why. Why was this happening? I knew there was something like deeper that I needed to be able to help them with, something that would like allow them to keep following through to reach their goals because that's what they actually wanted. That's what we talked about. So that meant so much to me to help them do that. So I started trying to figure out how I could solve this problem for women. I started going back through so many written notes and Excel spreadsheet information that I had collected from those many conversations with women who would be excited to connect with me, get the same tools and resources I had, start their health and fitness journey with me as their coach, and then to watch them ultimately quit on themselves within 3 months for many different reasons. But, after many years, the reasons have all been recycled reasons, meaning I've heard all of the reasons over and over again. Now, I remember having some of those same reasons myself. So it was just so relatable to me. But by August of 2014, I just decided to give all those reasons up and move forward and just really creating the health and fitness lifestyle that I wanted. So what I'll do is I'll share some of those thoughts that had them quitting on themselves or stopped many from even getting started. And I want you to listen and recognize if any of these reasons are relatable to you. Now, I am going the health and fitness route, but you can plug in any goal that seems fitting with these thoughts, okay? It isn't working for me. I should be further along. This change is too hard. It's taking too long. I don't have enough time. I can't because insert whatever reason you need to insert there. I'm getting worse and worse. I don't know how to be consistent. Let me throw this out there. By the way, you are consistent. Every day you wake up, you are consistent at doing some activities in your life. It's like a habitual, consistent habit. You're just unconscious to it. If I could bring it to your attention, you get up. If you have a job, you go to work, you come home, you take care of your kids, you go to sleep. Obviously, there's many more things in between that, but there's some consistency in your life. You know how to do it. It's there. It's just unconscious. So I just want to bring that to your awareness. Let's get back to these thoughts. There is so much to learn. I've tried everything. So this probably won't work either. It didn't work for me before. So it probably won't work for me now. I don't know what to do. It's too late for me. Now, those are just some thoughts I wanted to throw out there. There are plenty more. But here's the thing, I did not know how to carry these women beyond these thoughts. I just believed their story and I allowed their goals for their life to just slip away. I mean, obviously not on purpose, but because I didn't understand how these were just beliefs that they were believing so deeply, and they didn't know how to step into new beliefs to create different results for themselves. And at the time, I didn't know how to help them step into new beliefs to create different results for themselves. Now, even though this is the work that I was doing for myself, I didn't know how to articulate how I had created my consistency and discipline, even through life's many challenges that came up year after year. All I knew was that I was doing it. I created that skill of follow through. My own thoughts didn't throw me off track. Other people didn't throw me off track, and not the things that were happening in the world wasn't throwing me off track either. And it was benefiting me greatly to develop that skill. Now, it wasn't until I learned of the awareness tool called the model, which my coach Stacy had taught me in her business coaching program, which I still engage in pretty much every day, by the way. Still in that program, still learning, still growing, still developing, still learning new concepts. It's amazing. But it wasn't until she introduced me to that awareness tool, the model, that I understood my own brain, my own thoughts, how I was feeling because of my thoughts, and the results that I created because of my thoughts and how I was feeling. That is when I was finally able to articulate how I'd been able to create consistency and discipline in my health and fitness life. That's where it all started for me. Now, I shared this thought, feeling, action cycle on the last episode, episode 22. If you haven't already listened, I highly suggest you go back and listen so that you can clearly understand the other concept, your thoughts create your results. And I explain it many different ways so you can understand it, because it's a way for you to take ownership of your results without it feeling like it's such a heavy thing to do, because of the control you'll clearly see that you have in creating the results in your life. This is amazing work. Actually, you know what? I highly suggest you start from episode 1. I mean, we're only 23 episodes in. So you're going to still get a whole lot of valuable information to add to your already amazing life. Okay. Now, let me take one of those thoughts that I shared that stopped my clients from following through and moving forward with reaching their goals. Let's go with this one. I should be further along. Now, I want you to keep in mind of this thought not just being a thought, but this thought also being a strategy. It's a thought that you would need to solve for in order to be able to follow through and get to your results. So let me show you briefly how I would help you explore this thought on a coaching call. I won't go through a whole coaching call, but I'll show you a bit of the beginning stages of exploring this thought. Now, as a coach with expertise, here is how I would help you handle, well, I'll say this. Here is how I would handle helping you dissect the belief of I should be further along. So I'll walk you through this example. Client, I should be further along. Coach, you should be further along. You are 3 months into your journey. Where do you believe you should be? Client, I should have at least lost 10 pounds by now. Coach, why do you believe you haven't lost 3 pounds by now? Give me three theories, just three guesses. Client pauses to think about it. Well, I know that I could be eating better than I am. I tend to overeat just because. Also, I'm not getting enough sleep. So I'm tired all the time. So I don't meal prep like I said I would. I also go to fast food restaurants more than I should throughout the week. And I don't make the best choices when I go. Coach, okay. Can you see what's happening here? Can you see why you are not further along? I want you to notice how you keep telling yourself that you are not further along. And likely you are repeating this thought every day and you don't feel good about it. So you keep repeating a cycle of continuing with actions that are creating more of what you don't want. Now it's causing you to want to quit on yourself because of what you keep creating and feeling bad about what you're creating and the progress that you don't have. Client, wow. And I keep beating myself up over not having the progress that I feel like I should have right now, but I keep creating it. Now, I'll stop right there with that coaching session. Okay. But I do want to let you know that this would be a point that I hold so much space for my client to literally feel in this moment, because this is a moment of realization and it can be very emotional for some because it's not always easy to face, your behaviors that keep causing you suffering, like your own suffering. Now, I just wanted you to get a glimpse of how I would coach my client with that thought, but also I want you to notice how the client is beating herself up, saying that she should be further along, but notice all of the actions that she is taking, creating more of the results that she doesn't want. Notice how the initial thought she gave me was just surface level. That wasn't the real problem. The real problem was the actions that she was taking because of her feeling bad about the thought she kept having of feeling like she should be further along. This is a thought that women believe is the real problem over and over again. Can you see how that surface level thought is not useful? It needs to be investigated. And believe me when I say there are more thoughts that come up in our coaching sessions, and we get to dive all in. But for now, I just want you to put yourself in the client's shoes. If you are a woman who has goals, any goal, but for the sake of this example, we'll stick with the subject of weight loss. Imagine what your end result would be at the 3 month mark. If you thought her same thoughts, would you have the desire to keep going? Or would you quit on yourself? Again, possibly continuing the start stop cycle. I just want you to think about that. This is where I get to show my clients how their thoughts are nothing more than a strategy that we get to solve for. I get to help them navigate getting from where they are when they get stuck to where they want to be by teaching them this work, which ultimately leads to them getting what they want after we've practiced it over and over from week to week, which leads to the skill of follow through. That's how you become the woman that shows up for herself no matter what. No matter what your brain offers you, you'll be able to start solving for it. Now, listen, You've got to be onto yourself. You've got to practice being onto yourself. And that awareness of your thoughts, feelings, and actions will save you tons of time in creating the results that you want for your life in any area of your life. That's what I have for you today. I hope this was so valuable and has your brain thinking. Okay. And if you want to go deeper with this work, I will help you create a whole new self identity by teaching you how to walk through that process to become that woman who follows through and creates any result, no matter what. So let's do it. You can book a free life and wellness consultation with me through my website at www.royalrenewal.info. But for now, I am wishing you a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of ease, and a whole lot of love. And I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.